come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. Want the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Gummy, back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser, ask for it. Living movie, blockbuster, this ain't a rental. Talking moody, all these diamonds up in my dental. I get never minded if I offend you. I need the silence, chaos is in my mental.
Hello again, everybody.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his first touchdown in a Saints uniform. And the Saints have taken the early lead. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And out across midfield, down to the 45.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They run with Ajayi. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down first and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jay Ajayi, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude. But I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green,
They go
39.
play action here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go now.
They're going to look to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Kamara. A little juke. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season. tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
3-19!
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. Down right around the 25. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Here's Kamara, try to run for it. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Again, this is Kamara. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It's not like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you think that 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. And on the ground they go with a running back. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we?
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Here's Ajayi. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
That's how we do, D. That's how we do. They don't want none. They don't want none of this. On the ball.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And he connects with Ertz. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the 1st down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
This is Ajayi. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McKenzie. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Wentz to throw on second down. And escapes the sail. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Justin Houston in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Like the footwork back there. I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40.
Let's go! Green, 39!
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. Whoosh. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
He'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed!
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey,
here we go.
These pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And they'll run it here. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Throwing his Wentz, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Working from the gun, Wentz. He finds Ajayi. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and throw them on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
And Josh Hill has it. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Let's go.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Fuller. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll drop to throw. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This quarterback now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll drop to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. A final shot before half for Wentz. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
do that? I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the gun, it's Wentz. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Throwing on first is Wentz. Stays on his feet. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third and long, it's Wentz. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet? Oh, I've got the exact play to dial up.
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A good pickup there, a 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it's caught, the tight end Hill. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards there and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's caught. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's second and goal.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Will Fuller there to make the grab. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And out now come the Eagles. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2. First downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
I got you, 88. I got you. Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
On play action, it's Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, he's got a man, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, I don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that will close the gap down to 14. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag, and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Checking things elsewhere. 3rd quarter now from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go.
They're going to look to throw. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Four down.
Again, it's Wentz. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Eagles on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw is Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing is Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On second down, here's Wentz. He's going to launch this thing way down. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He'll look to throw. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The open man is Smith. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Now Kamara. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Fielded just inside the 20. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Wentz to throw again. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They run it again with Kamara. And now running right through it. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the fly over the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for New Orleans, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in